In this lesson, we're going to discuss measuring angles and how to do so. What you're going to want to use to get the exact degree measure of an angle is a protractor, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But first, I just want to kind of discuss the potential of, estimating angles. When I look at this angle here, I see that it's opened up just a little bit. It's not at 90 degrees, so this is an acute angle. And if I were to estimate this, it'd have to be somewhere between 0 and 90 degrees. It looks like it's past halfway, so maybe like 50 degrees would be a good estimate for this measure. And, depending on how accurate you need to do, you might get a protractor out for this one. Here's another angle, but this one is larger than 90 degrees and less than 180. So here would be 90 degrees, here would be 180 degrees. Halfway between here would be, about let's see, you have 90 degrees between this, so 45. So 45 plus 90 would be 135. It looks like it's really close to that halfway, so maybe like 135 degrees, maybe like 140, somewhere in there. And so this would also be an obtuse angle because it's greater than 90 degrees. So we have an acute angle, obtuse angle, and this is just some generalizations you can do for estimates. And this little squiggle line means that we're not exact measures here. To find the exact measure of an angle, you could use a tool that we call a protractor. Now this can be tricky depending on the protractor you're using. The most difficult kind would be, a paper one that you can't see through and you need to measure an angle with, which is what I'm going to show you right here. So here's a protractor. You can see on here it has these markings where it says 180 and 0, then it counts up 10, 20, or it counts down, and there's a 0 over here. Wherever the ray that points to is where you're going to start at 0. So when I line this up on the angle here, you're going to see I line it up, and I put the center part right at the vertex, or the corner of the angle, and then I try to line up. Now this angle's not drawn perfectly straight, so I try to line it up so that way the line goes right along here and points to the 0. So this is the 0. But I notice I can't see the other line. So to measure this, I have to actually come by, move my protractor, get a pencil or something, and then extend this out with a straight edge or a ruler. Extend this line out so it goes further. Now I can come here and reline this up. And you can see this goes now past the end of my protractor. It looks like it's actually right between not 150 and it's right here between 150 and 140, but this is an acute angle, so it can't be these numbers. It has to be these ones. So it's right between 30 and 40, 30, and that line in the middle is 35, so this angle is probably 35 degrees, and that would be the measure of that angle using a protractor. Make sure you don't get confused because a lot of them, they have these numbers on top, and for this angle, we don't need it. This is an acute angle. It starts 0 here and goes up to 35, so we don't need the big numbers. We use the little ones for this one.